Maybe we should stop eating.
Why?
Because we're recording.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Picture it, pink pants and a floral shirt.
Shall we begin?
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Good morning. It is morning.
It is morning. Reese called me and said, friend, let's record.
I said good morning.
Good morning. Oh, okay. You want to like bring in the show?
Yeah.
I'm not used to that, but go ahead. Do it again.
All right, let's start. How are you not used to it?
Because we usually have banter now.
Good morning.
Hey guys. It's your boy Ramont.
And I'm Reese.
And this is another episode of ALilR. Ooh, we did it at the same time.
That was not supposed to happen.
Ooh, bitch.
Coming to you live and direct from an undisclosed location in the DMV area once again.
I thought it was secured.
What did I say?
Undisclosed. Is that secluded?
It is secluded. It is. We're here. And don't nobody know where we are. The door is locked.
The door is locked.
We good. So
something a little bit different about today. I have the studio set up differently and allows Reese to see the recording happening now. So
I don't get caught off.
Right now he's
watching
real big for his britches. He's able to say good morning and he doesn't want to talk prior to.
Because I can see everything now. It's a whole new world over here. I think I'm going to be stuck looking at the sound waves.
Why?
I don't know, because they're there.
Well, yeah, now you get to see what I see, and you'll get to know your highs and your lows, and see, like, you're not talking right now, and that's
right.
only me.
And so then, boom, there I am.
We're learning. Reese is learning, because he needs to know these things.
I said, if anything was ever to happen to Ramont, I mean, it would be an end to the show, but be mainly because I don't know what to do. I couldn't bring nobody on unless they were well versed in this whole the electronics part of it. So
absolutely,
we're set together,
and now we can get our minute markers together.
Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of different because you don't really get them until I listen back. I'm like, oh.
I mean, but at least we can know like where to start off at and get an idea of everything. We're y'all gonna hear a lot of moving around because of our mics, and we're trying to like get it like situated with handwriting and mics at the same time. So
we got new stuff, y'all. So we're learning.
Yeah, we told y'all we had new stuff, but we thought we had to figure it out, but clearly.
We're figuring it out, and you guys are working with us.
Working the kinks out, part 2.
Part 2, right? 2021.
Okay.
So
what's up, friend?
It's right after Valentine's Day.
It is.
So, lovers, we hope that you got loved on, and those that don't have love. Okay.
You gave love.
Hopefully.
Give love on Christmas Day.
No.
I love that song.
No. So yeah, Valentine's Day. So I feel like Valentine's Day to me is like not just another day. I mean, it is Valentine's Day, but
it's a Hallmark holiday.
I don't really get into it like that.
It's a Hallmark holiday to me.
When you say Hallmark, what do you mean?
Like I feel like it's something that the card industry, like the birthday cards and everything like that, like they made up this particular holiday because what does it really celebrate? Right. You know what I mean?
Like, it's supposed to celebrate love.
It falls. No, it doesn't always falls on a weekend, but like we don't get off of work for it.
It's not federal.
Restaurants usually are the most busiest. You got to make all these reservations and pre-COVID, of course. The flowers, there's chocolate candy, and it's just. I don't know. Like, I don't get caught up in a hype for Valentine's Day.
Me either. I think that, so I'm one of those people that, like, for Valentine's Day, I didn't have a Valentine per se this year, but I have a friend that I absolutely love and admire. And so, what I did was I sent a gift. A very thoughtful gift. And it was... Like, I saw the advertisement because, I'm an Instagram, Facebook advertisement junkie. So I saw the advertisement. Oh, this is so cute. And I was like, oh, it's around Valentine's Day. So it just kind of made sense. But it was, I mean, I probably would have got it regardless. So I'm kind of thoughtful in that way, but at the same time, I'm not like, oh my God, I got it. Like people are like, oh my God, if you don't have a Valentine, you got it. I'm not that person.
And then also like for Valentine's Day, so it's like you go all out this one particular day with flowers, roses, dinner, all this lovey-dovey stuff. So what happens on the 15th?
Right.
The 16th, the 17th. Like, do we keep the same energy, or was it...
this was that day.
This was that day. And now we're back to normal.
Right. And so then that's what is normal. Like, can you create this space where flowers and thoughts, being thoughtful and things like that are just a norm? Mm-hmm. Or is it just a Valentine's Day thing? Like, so that's why I don't get caught up in it. I'm like, eh.
Like, it's cute for the moment. And I guess it all depends on how long people have been together. Mm-hmm. And some people are like big on it for different reasons. They just like Valentine's Day, just like, I may just like Easter, or right. I may just like Christmas, but Valentine's.
I love Thanksgiving because it's time to eat. I love it.
But yeah, me personally, like, it's cute for the moment to do different things, but other than that, I'm really not.
So, speaking of Valentine's Day, Ramont sent me this event. He sent me this event. It was because I didn't necessarily have a Valentine, so he sent me this event for a speed dating thing, and then Omari and I ended up going, and
I look out for my single friends.
Right. So the thought and everything about the event was great. Like the idea of it, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We
went and it was a decent time. It was just, there was no love connections made, which is cool because it wasn't about, for me, it was just like, let's just go and see what this is about. Like, let's enjoy it for what it is. And it was cool. The best part was when we left and we went and got food. For me, but the event itself
always
was
about
cool.
The food for you.
It is about the food. The event was cool. It was a decent time. It was interesting that a lot of people that I sat down with were like, I'm an introvert, and I'm just like, wow, so you're here,
but you're an introvert. Introverts wouldn't have signed up for this.
Yeah. So, but I mean, not to say that they don't need love, bro, or they're not looking for it. But what was interesting
they found a word for the day.
Ooh, introvert. I want to be that. What's interesting though?
Go ahead. No, it's just weird. Like if I'm in a public space that requires me to talk to people, you're like going speed dating is nothing that an introvert will do.
Right.
Like an introvert will sit here and text you, you know what I mean? Have that type of conversation, but I'm not. And then it's the fact that I'm an introvert. So I'm at speed dating where I have to talk to all of these different people. Maybe they went through therapy and they said, you got to break out of this.
Maybe.
So, okay.
So I told you, well, I don't know if we ever talked about it on the show, but I told you when I was talking to this life coach, he was like, you need to, my thing was I was not approaching people. And he was like, you need to, that was my task to go out. And if I was interested to approach someone. And so when I did, I remembered why I did it. Because he was like, yeah, we can go out and boom, boom, boom. And then it was, but by the way, me and my ex are trying to figure things out. And I'm like, well, why are we going out then? That doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. That's another story for another time.
Yes, it is.
The whole so the introverts, the funny thing about that was, I think one or both of them that were like, I'm an introvert, were born the day before me. Their birthday was the day before mine. And I was like, that's weird because I'm completely not an introvert. Like I have my moments, but I would never say, oh, I'm an introvert. So it was really weird.
You're not.
But one was just literally, we sat there and he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so, what you got going on? Like, what's up? What's next for you? He's like, oh, me and my friend are going to do a podcast. And I was like, how are you gonna do a podcast when you don't even talk? And I was like, well, what is the premise? Like, what is it? And he was like, oh, it's gonna be surrounded around sex. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, good luck with that. I said, well, I do a podcast too. And he was like, well, what do you guys talk about? I said, everything.
Did you do your popple?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
it didn't work on his phone.
Why not?
I don't know. So I think it's Sprint phones that doesn't work on. Sorry, Sprint. And maybe older iPhones. Is what I think.
Maybe Sprint. I don't think Sprint has that NFC. I will have to look it up and find out for sure.
But it didn't.
So did you have them do it another way? Did you have them scan?
I had them do the scan what?
Well, did you have them do the QR code?
No.
How did you have them do it?
I pulled up our Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So that, so I mean, it was cool. It was a very cool thing, but yeah, no love connections.
So they're gonna. You told them that we had one, and then what?
Oh, he was just like, oh, so he was like, what do you guys talk about? And I was like, we talk about a little bit of everything. I said we did not want to pigeonhole ourselves into anything, and I was like, so how do you plan on going? That was like he started talking a little bit. I said, how do you guys go about, talking about just sex? And he was like, well, anything that comes up that has to do with sex. And I was like, yeah. In my head, I was like, that wouldn't. I don't know how well that's gonna work. Like to be like, oh, we're gonna talk about sex and anything that comes up. Like sex don't come up that often, in my opinion, or maybe I'm just not in that space of hearing about it, or I guess caring that much. I don't know.
I'm definitely gonna look out for them. Did you get this information?
So I told him, and I asked him. I said, so when you guys, releasing? He was like on Valentine's Day, but it was supposed to be on Valentine's Day, and then he's like, but it's not gonna happen. He's like, so I don't know when. And I was like, yeah. I said, getting started, it can take a minute. I said, but definitely I'll keep it. So I do have his Instagram information. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, it was like I said. It was. I felt like it was networking. Mm-hmm. It was cool that way. I met some other people that work in the same area as me. And I was like, okay, this is cool. So it was kind of a networking event for me because I was just like,
no love connection.
So they had. I meant to bring the thing. I have it. They have a little card that you had to fill out. So you had to write down like what things you learned about the person, and on the bottom it had like, do you want to bro them? Do you want to swipe left, which means you're not interested, or do you want to match? So one guy,
bro them like a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one guy, he sits down, and it's just funny to me. He says, he was like, "How old are you?" And so I told him, and I was like, "Well, how old are you?" And he was like 23, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And so then we just started going back, like, "Where are you from?" Blah blah blah. Very good conversation. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get past. He had braces and he had bands, and I couldn't get past the saliva. That was like, it was just a lot. And then he says, as he's, the time was up, he was like, "All right, so are we matching? What are we doing?" And I was like, "Well, I think you're supposed to do that, on your own. You figure out what you want to do, and then you circle it or whatever, and then you turn it in." He was like, "Well, I just want to know, what are we?" And I was like, I said, well, the age difference is a little bit of a thing. And I said, also, you don't plan on being here for longer than a year. He's like, well, things could change. And I was like,
he's old enough to be your son.
Right. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay. I said, well, we can match and just see what happens. And he was like, okay, great. And so then he went about his way. And so when we were leaving, Omari was like, are you sending these cards in? I was like, sure. I was like, let me pull this one out. Because I did like literally circle match. And I was like, no, I'm not turning that one in because it was not a match. Whew. Which brings us into our topic, kind of.
When certain people hear this episode, they're going to be mad that we're talking about that.
Why?
Because then you told me they wanted to be part of the show when if you talk about it.
It's not even, this is not, this.
We're not going to spend the whole show on it.
Absolutely not. That was it. That was the extent.
I personally don't. Clearly, I don't have anything going on. Reese is living his life. I have nothing for you guys today.
You have things going on.
I haven't done anything. Oh, so our event that we did for Amari, because did we tell the people that we
didn't talk about it?
Okay, so we hosted Amari's. He had a Hoodies on a Hill party. It was basically a hoodie themed party, food. Reese and I hosted the games and giving out prizes and everything like that. Also made a signature drink for the event as well. Very cute.
Yes,
had a lovely time.
It was. I think it was just so it was just very fluid.
Yeah, the energy in the room was good. Yes. Everyone had a good time. They participated in all the games.
All of the games. Majority of the people, I think there was one game that required you to get on your phone, and some people had some connectivity issues.
It was some connectivity issues.
But that was, but that happens. Other than that, I think that, again, everyone that came, it was good energy. Nobody came with drama. Nobody came with drama.
I did. I was upset.
Okay, we're going to talk about it. Okay, I didn't know we were going to talk about it.
I mean, we won't keep it real. So okay. I was upset because, and this isn't blaming anyone outside of the United States Postal Service.
Starting at the top. Okay.
I'll just give my little tidbit. So Reese and I we now have hoodies that have the podcast logo on the back and the QR code on the front. it would have been perfect for the party itself, as we were hosting it, coming in as our podcast itself, for branding and advertisements and everything like that. However, even though the hoodies were shipped with, I believe, express shipping in a timely manner, you didn't get them until when?
We didn't get them into that following, I think, Wednesday.
Really? It was Wednesday?
It was like Tuesday or Wednesday. It was because the event was on Saturday.
Yeah, the event was on Saturday.
Shipped on that. So they were shipped from like Baltimore, so which is down the street.
Really?
So they were shipped, I want to say 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 days in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were shipped out, and we were just like, okay, cool, they're gonna come. And they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. I was
over
pissed.
it.
I didn't even want to do the event no more. Like, I was so over it. I didn't want to wear a hoodie. I was just going to wear a long sleeve shirt and say, I'm here. Reese, being Reese, Reese was...
Let's back up a little bit. First out, shout out to Eric Cam, because I always feel like I pronounce it wrong. Eric Cam Productions, because they did our hoodies.
They did.
Amazing.
And they are cute. We love them.
Love them. And let me also plug this real quick, because I've been asked a couple of times, like, ooh, I want a hoodie. We're not doing merch at this time. So we did those just for advertisement, for promo.
Oh, yeah, I got people that want one too.
Yeah, I was like, we're not there yet. So stay tuned. And stay tuned, meaning it's an idea.
Absolutely.
But it's not something that we're working on right now. So when it comes out, it'll be out. But so Ramont, I called him and I was like, yo, the hoodies are not here. So Ramont, you know how you know your friends. So even through text, the tone was very, well, where are they? Did you look at where? And I could hear him saying, did you track them? Well, if they're at the postal service, which one is it? Did you go by? I said, okay. So I hop in my vehicle and I go to the postal service. I go to the post office, and she was like, it's not here. It's at the distribution center. The distribution center, you're not going to be able to get it because it's probably on a truck. Womp, womp, womp. So I said, okay, I'm going to run to this undisclosed location to see if I can get another hoodie, like get hoodies made, like, in a timely manner. The guy was like, I can do it within an hour, but I can only do it on a white hoodie. Perfect. So I don't even think I told Ramont this at first. And then I started looking for a white hoodie, and I could not find, for the life of me, a white hoodie anywhere. And I was just like, oh my God. So that's when I told him, I was like, he was like, I'm over it. And I was like, okay, but we still got this event to do. And he was like, okay. So then...
Like, I'll grab a hoodie, but I'm over it.
Yeah, he was... I know you told me that I'm not going to wear it. I don't even want to wear a hoodie. And I was like, friend, this ain't... Like, something has to have a hood on it. Like, you got to. You got to wear something with a hood. And so, that conversation ended, and I was just like, okay, I'll just see you at the event space. So then, do you want to pick up when we get to the event space?
A few things happen at the event space. One, I get there. I'm already heated because I don't have... It's like you built up for this to happen. Like, the hoodies was like what I was looking forward to. Like, oh my God, we're going to have our hoodies on at the hoodie party. Like, it's going to be so lit. And you don't have it. So I'm just over the whole thing. And I get there. We're the host. I can't say the host. Omari wasn't there. Reese had not arrived yet.
No. I was there first. You put up after me.
No. Did I?
Yes. This time you did.
Oh, okay. So
I don't want to get in no more trouble.
So all right, so we get there, and so I'm just sitting there and like starting to get some of the games together on the technical side and do everything I need to do. And I look to Reese and I say, and Reese is just empty-handed.
I had my bag. I didn't have anything.
You didn't have anything.
You're right.
I'm just like, is the laptop in the car?
No, he said, where's the laptop? And I said,
Demontier, do you have him?
I said, it's at the house. And he said, and you have to know, Ramont, it wasn't okay. It was, okay. Like, the fuck am I supposed to do now? So I said, I'll go get it. I said, it's right. I live right up the street. Like,
right. It wasn't far. Yeah. Like, it was still early.
Yeah, it was early enough. But let's back up. So Omari had a house guest. So knock on the door. So Amari wasn't there, so that was a little irritating because I was like, how you? But he had to run and do whatever he needs to do. Great.
Again, still, how do you?
Yeah, how do you not be here? So, how do you not? Is that right?
Yeah.
How do you not be here?
I'll say it.
Okay. Because, ugh. Anyways, so we get to the door and the house guest opens the door and he's like, hey. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Ramont walks in and past and says nothing. And I said, and he was just like, so the house guest was like, I don't even know what he said. And I was just like, okay. So then when we realized I didn't have the laptop, I think the house guest came in and said something to Ramont. And I was like, it's too early. Like, don't, because Ramont was done, and I knew that it wasn't going to go nowhere but left. And so when I went and got the laptop, Ramont was still quiet.
I was quiet for a long time.
Yeah, I think that I don't know.
I don't think I switched on until it was time to host the event.
Yeah. Because and that's when I was like, okay.
Well, I'm there to do a job. I'm always going to do my job.
Right.
But behind the scenes, whew.
I said, I don't know.
I would have put on for the event because it wasn't no one at the party's fault, so they didn't need to see any of that. I mean, Reese seeing it is okay.
All right. But and I was good. I was just like, Lord.
Yeah, so, I was going to... Once guests actually started to arrive, I was warm and welcoming. No one would have known none the wiser of what was going on. And me and the house guests, I apologize later on and everything like that. Well, first of all, we met him when we came over to make the drinks, and he was already a shady bitch. So I wasn't going to give too much.
Apology is like, look, I had an attitude, so I'm sorry that you got a piece of it. Like, it's more or less like you was here, so you got it. Sorry.
I didn't, how much was I supposed to give?
I don't know. You know me. I'm just kind of like.
But this is the same house guest when I was making the drinks.
He was very shady.
He was very shady.
But it was fun shade.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Okay.
So you're not going to shade my drinks that I know are good. And now, because I got an attitude the next day, now it's like, oh, he being shady. I had an attitude. I apologize. Yeah, he did at the party.
But they were good.
They were good.
After they sat. So if you want to book us, let us know. You can hit
absolutely
us up, on our email, on our IG.
Yeah, that's the only way to contact us.
Yeah. Unless you know us personally, but
absolutely.
If it's business, hit us on our... No, I'm just joking. So yeah, it was a good event. We had a really good time. And a lot of people, from what I heard, really enjoyed
yes, absolutely.
everything. So it was cool. Definitely fun. Good times.
All right.
So what's next?
Want to go into our topic for today?
We can talk about our topic.
All right. Go ahead and bring us in.
Okay, so today...
Because you have the definition.
We're talking about ghosting.
Ooh.
Effective communication and the clingy complex. So I don't even know where this came from, to be honest. I don't know where the topic... I always feel like I want to say where it came from, but I don't know that it came from anywhere specifically. I think it was just in general, like, oh, this ghosting is a thing.
We've all been ghosted in some form. Yeah.
Okay.
You've been ghosted before?
I have. I was going to say I haven't, but I have.
Have you ever ghosted someone?
I don't think so. I think that...
I probably have.
Yeah, well...
I ain't shit.
We can... But you've been... So I think that it's always... when we have these conversations, I think it's always interesting because me and Ramont are in different places, right? So Ramont is in a whole relationship. I'm single, and I think that when he has to revert back to who he was then, it's a little bit different because the times have changed. You know what I'm saying? Things are... Ghosting is still a thing, don't get me wrong. But I think it's more of a relevant thing now than it was a few years ago. Because you've been together for, what, 3?
Yeah, it's still the same. 4.
So what I'm saying, but I don't think it was as big, like it wasn't a thing. Like ghosting, I don't remember hearing that 4 years ago. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
I don't think they had a title for it.
Right, it was going on, but I'm like,
right,
I'm saying it wasn't like, ooh, I've been ghosted. It was more or less like, whatever. So when we talk about ghosting... Of course, you guys know I love a definition.
Yes, you do.
Ghosting is the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone suddenly and without explanation, withdrawing from all communication. So, so I will give an example of, I had met someone, this was a while ago, I had met someone on... Well, this is when I was doing them dating apps heavy. I had met someone
I remember them days.
Hinge, right? I met them on Hinge.
I really thought Hinge was for women.
No, it's for everybody.
Okay.
I don't use it anymore. I'm off the dating apps. I said I'm going to do it the all natural way these days. I'm going to meet you in person and we're going to go from there. But met him on Hinge. Very cool. Everything was great. Like, we had great conversation. The connection was really, really good. And then all of a sudden, like, we were texting, talking, all of that. And then nothing. And I was just like, you know how you just be like, well, damn, what happened? So it's like, hey, what's going on? You know, how you been? Nothing.
Damn.
I'm a one and done. Like, if I give you that, okay, next. So then months passed. And then, so I was ghosted.
And he popped back up.
Right. And I was talking about, hey, what's up? I was like, hey. And so then it was like, every now and then he would hit me and I would be like, well, what? So recently, we've been communicating again. And we talked about it. I was like, so what happened, like, during that time? He was like, well, you just stopped talking to me. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, no, that's not what happened. I remember reaching out and you not reaching back.
Did you send a screenshot?
I did. Did I tell you about the screenshot situation?
No. Continue with the story, then we get to the screenshot.
We'll go back to that.
Okay.
But yeah, so he was just like, yeah, you kind of said. I was like, no, that's not what happened. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of had this whole back and forth. And no, I didn't, because I'm not into, I don't have to prove my point. I remember you have the same information that I have. You have the same thread. And if you deleted it, that's on you.
Maybe his phone was cut off. And
maybe. Whatever. Okay. So now we're cool again, but he definitely, that's the last time that I felt like someone ghosted me. Like, it was like great communication, then all of a sudden, boom, I'm gone. And that happened to me twice off of the same app. Two different people, same app, did the same exact thing. Oh. It was like, oh, they went radio silent, and then I was like, well, okay, next. And then it was like, hey, what's up? How are you? Excuse me, I don't even know you anymore. Who is this? Like, that type of thing. Not literally, but like, where are you coming from? Mm-hmm. How do you just think you can just pop up? But again, because I'm not invested, I can talk to him. Like, hey, what's up? You know, you're cool, whatever. Like, one guy, we bumped into each other and he was like, oh my God, I just, he was like, I get into these moods and blah, 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 way more than I'm willing to deal with right now. So you keep doing that and I'm going to keep doing me.
God bless.
Yeah. But I don't think that I'm a ghoster. I think that I give you my peace sign.
I don't. Back in my day, I've never like just cut someone off and stopped talking. It's more so, hey, you want to hang out? No. Hey, what's going on? I'm fine. Short. Are you free? No. Right. Very short. Very not interested. I'm not putting in any effort to see you, hang out with you, whatever the case may be. So,
and yeah,
that's not good. Yeah, I've never just went. Have I ever gone over the outside?
I feel like you might have.
I don't think I have. No.
Because you're very, and again, this isn't about you necessarily, but it is. I think that you are kind of, what I'm learning is when you're not into it, you're just not into it. And if there's no investment there, it doesn't mean anything to you. It's like, okay, whatever.
And it's on my terms.
Yeah. Like, so I could see, I'm not saying that you have, but I could see you being like,
But maybe I could have. I'm just trying to think of it. And maybe I have and if they're hitting me up, I'm literally ignoring it. Maybe I have.
Yeah. Now, I think I'm more of the one that's like short. I'm very short. Like, if I'm not interested, because I feel like it's rude to just not respond.
But then I get rude. Then I become rude because I just feel like why are you not getting a hint? Like, why are you not getting a hint that this?
Why do you understand? Why don't you understand? I don't like you.
Right. Like, I don't understand it. I do know that I have been ghosted. Where people just stop talking to me.
How did that make you feel?
I just move on. Like, I just
does it affect like so? It doesn't.
I just be like, I mean, same way you do. Like, well, damn. Okay, I guess. Okay. Like, you know, it is, and some have popped back up, and I just stopped responding. Like,
oh, okay,
you re-engage. I don't.
Because I feel like now, if it was someone that I was like into,
I was ghosted, and only because it ghosted me. And of course, it was nothing after that. Like, hey, what's going on? Mm-hmm. And nothing. And then it became, you know what's weird about it? When you still follow the person on social media. Mm-hmm. So you see, like, they're active. Like, they didn't die. And then when And I saw the person in public, and it was just like, "Oh, hey, Monty, like, what's going on? How are you? Hi,
right,
hi."
I had a situation. So I met someone,
That's
and communication was great. We were getting to know each other. We were out. This is when outside was open. We were out and about, and they felt like I was a little aggressive with them. And it could happen, whatever. Back then, I'm not that person anymore. So he just dead it, like, stop talking. And so what I did was the next day, I reached out and I was like, look, if you feel some stuff, because I don't think that I am I'm not an intentional aggressive, like, I'm not trying to, offend anyone. Like, I'm not that person. So when he said what he said, when we were in person, I was just kind of like, okay. So I reached out the next day and I was like, look, I apologize. He was like, it just went off. Cool. I apologize. We didn't say nothing at all to each other for a while. Then he hits me up on IG, like, what's up? I'm trying to see you, trying to come through. What? No. No. What? No, you don't get to.
It really make you wonder what be going through people's minds.
Like, what did you think? Like, you literally cussed me out in public. So I took that L because, one, I had been drinking and I know me. When I've been drinking, my reactive senses are a little off. So it could go left or right. They could be really on or really off. And in that moment, I was like, I'm not finna do this with you. Like, we're not finna argue and get into a potential fight. Like, I'm not doing that. So I deaded it. When I apologized, that was my way of saying, hey, let's move past this. When you said, you wanted to hold on to it by yourself. I'm good. And then you want to move, like, come through. What? Come through? I'm not even interested
I really think they forget what they do.
Maybe. But I don't understand that.
Or they feel like they that bitch where I can do whatever I want and I can pop up and you're going to accept me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work like that.
Not at all. Not for me either.
And what I hate is a person that, if you communicated or whatever the case may be, maybe hung out, maybe not. But if we've communicated, then you ghost me and then you see me and now all of a sudden, hey, what's going on? I keep the same energy. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm very, now you know who, like.
I'm a little bit. So I am more like, hey, I'm going to give you, okay, what's up? But I'm not going to. I'm not going to give.
What I won't do is I won't be the first one to speak.
No. Not if if it's a ghosting situation. Absolutely not. Yeah. I was going to say I did ghost somebody, but I didn't. I was very, I was going to say, because remember I went out with that Caucasian guy. And it just didn't. So we actually had a conversation. So we had effective communication, and we decided that it was a dub. Like, it just was not going to work. So I think that was very, I guess, adult of us to be able to have a conversation and move past it. Because I think that, when you live in the DC, DMV, or whatever, you bump into people.
It's a small area.
Yeah, it's much smaller than people think.
You're definitely going to bump into the person.
Think, oh my God, it's so big and there's so many people. And
Absolutely not.
There's a bunch of people, but they all come to the same place.
Absolutely not. We're gonna bump into each other at some point in time.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't like to have bad juju with anyone, especially when it comes to like dating and things like that. I know you don't care.
Don't.
So, when we talk about so I feel like to prevent ghosting, you obviously have like effective communication. You have that ability to say, okay, this isn't working for me, and this is why, maybe, or just that I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to have an explanation. I think that for a long time I used to think that I need to know why for me, but it's not necessary. I don't need a why. I just need to know. If you're not interested, cool, say that. You know what I mean? Like, if you can verbalize that, then I'm good. But don't leave me guessing.
That's weird. That's weird coming from you. Because if we go back on
you got to pull up these receipts. Come on.
Because if we go back on the Is This Done episode, and you were basically like, you're one and done, and I was like, well, no, I need an explanation. of why. And now you're saying no one can just ghost you. You need to know why.
No, I'm saying I want to know why. I don't think I denied wanting to know why. But what I'm saying is, if you do it, okay, I'm good with that.
But
you don't.
No one is going to tell you why I'm ghosting you or tell you why it's going to end. I mean, not everyone is equipped to do that.
Right. And so what I'm saying is, if you ghost me, that is you can do that. But don't, like, we can't reconnect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we can't. You're not, if you're gonna go with no explanation, respectfully go with no explanation and keep going. Don't come back around. Like, if you see me again, I don't mind speaking to anybody, whatever. But I'm not like, oh boy, that's come back. We're cool. But I don't think, and I feel like he realizes, or I don't even know what his intent was coming back around. Maybe the conversation was good because that's all we do is talk. So I don't think that there's like a romantic or an interest. Now, when we did talk about him, or he says me ghosting, it was like, well, I really thought we had a good vibe. We did have a good vibe, but that is gone now because now we're just cool. I'm not in the space to repeat anything. I'm just not. I think that when it comes to relationships or dating and things like that, when we've deaded it, I don't know. People are like, well, maybe in the future, maybe not.
Yeah, that's always a line. Maybe in the future, we'll get back together. Something will change. We'll grow. Yeah. I mean, that was cute in our 20s.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just like, okay, you're not interested, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I can take that out and keep it moving. But I think effective communication is important to any type of relationship.
Absolutely.
But again, if it's not there, I'm okay with that. Because I feel like you tried me right there. Like, basically, like I was contradicting.
And the how I look at ghosting is it gives no accountability, and it prevents people from being vulnerable and actually having that hard conversation. If I don't tell you that this isn't working for me, I don't have to hear your, well, why not? You don't have to deal with the other person's response or trying to sway you or convince you to get back. So if I just ghost you, I'm done. Right. I ain't got to worry about nothing.
But and that's interesting, because I feel like if someone was to tell me, and I've been told, like, I want to be cool. I get a friend vibe or whatever. In my head, you have made a decision. There is nothing. I'm not going to be like, but, or why. Like, I don't need your why. If that's now, if you lead with why and then give me your decision, okay, cool. But I'm not going to be like, so what happened? Like, you made a decision. And I don't understand the need or the want to. And I've been there before, like, years ago. But trying to explain why I am a good candidate or why I would be a good, like, I don't have time for that.
They were the old days.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Yeah, I don't get that at all. And I've had that where I've been like, I think that it would just be cool if we're just, but
it's always because there's always that one person that's more interested than the other one. That want to see where it can go, so of course they'll try to sell themselves, and
I don't see that. I see it because it's happened, but I don't understand it because I feel like, again, a decision has been made. To me, if we're dating or we're talking, getting to know each other, right, and you're like, look, Reese, I am not interested. Like, I just want to be cool with you.
I've had that.
Yeah, and I'm like, but Ramont, like, we've spent some good times together, like, and so then you say, okay, let's continue. Like, for real, you really don't want to. You're just appeasing me is how I'm thinking.
And I've done that. That's why I ain't shit.
Yeah, you ain't. Because I'm just like,
Because I've literally told, like, people they have, before in the past, have, like, tried to, just try to just sell. I'm just like, nah, like, it ain't, it is what it is for what we do, but I don't want any more from you.
What it is, right?
Like, this is it.
Right.
Like, this is it. And my ain't shit ass will still go over there.
I'm trying to think. Now I'm different. Now I'm like, when I know that it's like not toxic, but I know that it's like you want more than I'm willing to give.
And my thing is, it, like, if I'm telling you, then why do you keep trying to convince? Like, why do you keep trying to convince in a sense? Like,
some people can't take that L. Some people, I realize that some people feel like ending of things or things need to be on their terms.
Like, or they don't want them to end.
I think that it's easier to process something when I've decided that I don't want to be bothered anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunate because, I mean, life isn't always going to be like that. You're going to get some no's that you want it to be yeses. And again, relationships and otherwise. So
that's my only child thing. Well, clearly you saw it act out over a hoodie. Like, if I'm done, I'm done. Like, I don't want to.
Can we write that down?
What?
The only child syndrome.
Like, if I don't get my way, like, I don't want to do anything ever. And that's a bad trait of mine that I have.
But it's the truth.
I think that's how I am.
A couple of times, only not often.
D sees it a lot. Like, if I don't get my way.
See, and that's so crazy is, I mean, I know we're kind of getting off topic, but that is crazy because when you see your friends in their relationships, you know your friend, mm-hmm. but I don't see you being, like, I see you being my friend mm-hmm. in your relationship. Like, fun and da-da-da-da. Like, I don't see you being a brat or being...
it's not all the time. But
no, I'm saying at all. Like, yeah. I'm just like... Ramont, oh my God, they're just so... But I'll be like, those moments...
Ramont is spoiled.
Right, those moments, like I said, at that part, I was like, okay, I know that D has to deal with that shit.
Because he was trying to cheer me up too before I left.
Did he?
Yes. He's like, it's okay, things happen. No, fuck this. I don't want to go. He's like, go grab, you got hoodies in it. I don't care. It's not the hoodie I wanted to wear. Like, full brand.
Look, we're back on that. But I was like, so he was like, I'm gonna just throw on my the one, because Omar, I'm just putting him on blast. He stole my idea, so I did a hoodie party for my birthday, and then he incorporated with his event, which was where it was fine because it was a different. Audience.
I hosted both of them,
right? And did it was a different audience, so it worked. But so he was like, I'm just gonna wear the same hoodie that I wore to yours. And I was like, okay, cool. So he has his name on his. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, okay, we can still kind of coordinate. I'll wear one with my name on it. So it was, yeah. I didn't realize it then, but that was very bratty. Yeah. But I mean,
but it's only for things that I care about and things that I really want that it comes out. Minor things, whatever.
And see, I think that you and I are different in that way. I think minor things, I will go 0 to 100 real quick. Like I think that I'm a little bit, that when people ask me what is a bad trait, I'm very moody. I'm very moody. And I don't know if you guys see it as much, but like if I'm at work and someone's like, hey, I need da-da-da-da, I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, did you get so-and-so done? Excuse me, hold on. You just asked, like, please. And I'm like on 10. Versus just like, okay, let me hurry up and get this done so this person can get out of my face. Like, right. I get irritated very easily. But then I come down really quickly, too.
I don't come down quickly.
I know. Very aware.
I will hold on to that attitude until I feel like I'm ready.
Exactly. I mean...
It can go on for at least a good day.
I'm thankful that we've never... I've only ever seen... When we used to film, I used to see it then. And then every now and then you
that's different. That was completely different. That was pretty much, this isn't what I was told, and now I got to do this. And if I had known this, I would have prepared for this a little bit better type of situation. So I just feel as if like
next, okay, moving on with the topic at hand. So what do you feel like is effective communication? Like what works for you?
Well, one, I'll admit that I've gotten better with communication, itself and expressing your feelings and your wants and everything like that. But it's just, and it all depends on the person that you are trying to effectively communicate with and that relationship itself. Like with you, I have to have effective communication in order for us to get things done. But if I only known you, let's say maybe 2 months, like I'm not required to give you an effective communication. So I can just communicate with you. It is what it is. If I don't tell you something or forget or whatever it is, like it is what it is. There's no sweat to me. But if it's someone that I'm dealing with or know or love, whatever the case may be, I have to actually communicate and express feelings for you, because you won't know how I'm feeling unless I tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It said we can use the hoodie situation. I could have just popped up and just been at Amari's house with an attitude. Like, what the hell? You were good when we talked over the phone. Like, what's wrong now? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, why are you had an attitude throughout the whole party? So it just always depends on who you're talking to. Yeah, so
I think that for me, I think that I am just kind of a sharpshooter. Like, it is what it is. So let me know and we can deal. Or not. Like, just keep it real.
I've learned that while I am direct on a few things, because I'm very much, this is it, this is what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And I don't like people that beat around the bush, or like, what do you want? I don't need the backstory. What do you want so I can help you? You're wasting time and energy giving me all this backstory that, like,
that is one of my pet peeves at work.
I don't need all this. What do you want? And you don't want to be rude and cut them off, but it's just like, what do you want?
You sound like Tonio, because if you call Tonio,
what you want?
Tonio, he needs to know exactly what it is that you want. Like, okay, so I called him the other day about something. We had talked, and I was like, I'm gonna reach out to him. So I called him, and I was like, hey. He was like, what's up? And I was get like, to it. How are you? I'm good. What's up? And I was like, okay. So
you gotta get to it.
Yeah, give me what you need. And so with work, what I don't like is people will call and be like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. How are you? Okay, I'm doing great. So get to the point.
Right.
I need the meat and the potatoes so I can give you that answer and I can be done.
And me at work, I have to have patience because I deal with patients. Mm-hmm. So some people and if I'm talking to a patient, and I had a patient that we were talking about their medication and they can't get their refill because insurance or whatever the case may be. Boom, got that. Good. So they talked to the pharmacy and they called back. The pharmacist said, people in my situation usually have this medication and it helped with this and this, that, and the third, because I'm out of the medication. And my mind just like, man, you talked to me before. You're talking to the same person. I know the backstory. I don't need all that. Mm-hmm. What do you want now? And so she just going, and I was just like, so how can I help you? I stopped her. I said, so how can I help you?
Right.
You know, she got loud. Yelled at me. I've had a stressful day and I need this, that, and the third. I said, whoa. And I've done that with patients. I'd be like, whoa. Because, whoa.
We need to
wrong road. Wrong road. I said, and I basically let her know. I said, I'm empathizing with your story. I know the backstory. I said, what I'm trying to understand now is how can I help you?
Right.
What do you need me to do for you to make this better? She's like, oh, I'm sorry, but I said, okay, so you want the doctor to send X, Y, and Z off. Yes, okay. Like, I
be done. Yeah.
Because you mentioned it in the story, but you didn't say that you wanted that. You just said that's what the pharmacist said.
Right.
So I don't know. Do you want to do it? Like, what do you
What's
want?
Up? Right.
So I've learned to have patience, and I'm with my friends, with y'all, I can be direct. Mm-hmm. But with other people, I'm not so much direct because people get sensitive and everything like that. And if I'm direct and you come at me wrong, bitch.
You know what kills me is that being direct, right? It's a catch-22. I feel like when I meet people, and this is friends and or dates, when I meet people, it's like, oh my God, you just say what's on your mind. I love that. But then typically when it's a dating situation, as it goes on and I don't change that, it's like, you're aggressive, you're this. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I've been this from the beginning. Like, I'm very, this is what I want, this is what I'm not dealing with, da-da-da-da. And it's like, after time, it becomes a thing like, oh, it's too much. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, do you want me to be who I am? Or do you want me to be who you want me to be? Mm-hmm. But it's cute in the beginning because it's, I don't know. I think that people think that when I'm in a public space and I'm just trying to be like the life of the party. No, this is actually who I am.
It is.
Like, I'm very just boom.
We're like, I want to, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to know what may upset you and what your triggers are. If I'm getting to know you, or I need to understand backstory when it comes to that particular, when it's those in-depth vulnerable conversations. I want to know backstory and how you got that and how you've been dealing with it and what may or may not trigger you in certain situations. But when it comes time, and I guess it's more so when it's dealing with business or need or want for something, I need you to be direct. Tell me, so therefore there's no gray area,
right?
No one's guessing,
confusion.
flipping around,
right?
Talking back and forth. Tell me exactly what you want and let's discuss it from there.
I absolutely agree. So there was 5 keys of effective communication.
Come on, 5 keys.
5 keys. So you want to be positive.
That's going to be my rap name.
Good night. 5 keys to effective communication. Be positive. Be a listener, be an echo, be a mirror, and be real. Which I think are... So
echo and mirror.
So it's basically active listening. Like when you're... So a lot of times... Well, not a lot of times.
Oh, is that that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm... Or... And then the whole mirror is kind of giving that person what they're giving you as a sign of, okay, this is what I'm receiving. You know what I mean? This is what I'm getting from you. So am I accurate or am I not? Is what I, So it to me, those kind of go hand in hand, being an echo, being a mirror. It's basically letting you know that I'm listening, but also making sure that I'm understanding what you're saying or what vibes you're giving off. If it's through your actions or whatever. Nonverbal communication.
The mirror part is a little tricky because if a person is rah-rah with me, I might be calm.
Right. No. Well, so when I was reading, it was more or less like making sure that you understand what they're giving, making sure that you're saying, okay, you seem a little upset. Like, are you upset right now? Or are you just excited? Like getting that level of understanding. So, okay. Cause it's the intent is to not match the energy necessarily because what are we going to do? If you're on 10 and I'm on 10, 20 is going to be a bad thing. Like 2020 was. No. So yeah, it's just trying to make sure that there's a level of understanding.
What were the other 3?
Be positive, be a listener, and be real. Now, of course, I think that being positive, of course, great. But being real is one thing that I am always going to respect in anybody. Like work, relationships, friendships, all of that. Be honest and be real. Because I do not like anyone to... Don't give me no bunch of BS. And then expect me to try to figure it out. Like you kind of said, tell me what you need, tell me what you want. And let's have a conversation about that to make sure, again, that I understand what it is. And then you get what you want in the end, potentially.
But I hate... This is... A person being real is them BSing. Like I've run into people. Oh, this is, and like they swear, oh, I'm being real. This is how I am. This is what I do. Like, no, bitch, it's not. Like,
I mean,
I can see through this whole facade. Like you're.
But I think that so one of the things that I say a lot is if you have to tell somebody that this is what it is, then it's probably not. Like when people, I'm a grown ass woman, I'm a grown ass man. If you got to announce that,
I know your age.
Right.
You look old.
Right. You look like you've been through some things. So if you have to announce it, though, I'm just kind of like, are you? Are you? I'm real. I'm real.
I'm the realest bitch you ever meet.
Yeah, like,
I don't do that fake phony shit.
Right. When you got to be rah-rah about that, it's just like, okay, I don't believe you, but okay.
Don't.
Right. So, yeah, I think that, again, being real is just, to me, being honest with your intent, what you need, and all of that.
You find a real person when you take them around that family.
I haven't been there.
That's when you find out the real person because your family don't give a fuck. They
gonna call you out if you being fake.
Right, they gonna call you out if you acting funny,
you
acting different. They gonna call you out.
What's going on?
They gonna call you by your nickname. Yeah. Like it's gonna be all of that.
Do you have a nickname? No. I don't have a family nickname.
They call me Ramont. My grandmother calls me Monty, but my mom calls me little boy.
My mom calls me number 1 because I'm her favorite child.
I mean, there's only two of you, so...
Wait a minute. There's still two of us, and I'm her favorite.
It's only two of you. Ain't like it's like five of you.
Wait, hold on. So my dad has five, and we were on the phone. Quick story. We were on the phone, all of us, with our dad.
My dad has five, too.
We were on the phone. Well, you don't have any siblings on your mom's side, but we're on the phone, and we're like, Dad, so who's your favorite? And I was like, oh, I know in my head. And I said, I was like, I know I'm the favorite because I'm the first. Like, I feel like the firstborn is your favorite because that's where you learn everything. And it was like, okay, my dad has 5 children and 4 of us have his first name is Michael in our name somewhere. So they was like, Mike is his favorite. I was like, I know. Like, I know what's up. And it was like, no, little Mike is his favorite. And I was like, oh. And he basically admitted it without admitting it. And I was like, well, damn. But they are a lot alike, so it makes sense. But yeah, thought that was funny. I was like, oh. Well, I'm my mom's favorite, so that's all that matters. I know.
I'm my mom's favorite and my father's favorite.
Are you? Your dad's favorite? Because your dad has other kids. You're your mom's only.
Child. Them other kids. My other brothers. No tea, no shade, but I'm the oldest.
And I think that that's another thing, like I said. I think that it's the first is the one, that's another topic. But I think the first is the one that you learn everything with. So it's like you kind of grow with your parent.
And it's funny because I thought my second to youngest brother would have been his favorite. He's like a spitting image of my father. Like, dude's like 6'2", basketball, distant. Like, he looked just like my father, but my complexion. But... like, talking to my father in my older age now, I'm definitely the favorite.
I think that my dad's favorite is they're a lot alike. They both have a bunch of kids.
I think I'm his favorite now. I think back like a few years ago, it was probably him. But it's me now.
Swayed the vote.
I did.
Okay, so hold on. Before we get out of here, because I feel like it's about that time in a minute. Complex, the Clingy complex. Have you ever dealt with, or have you ever been?
Yes.
Have you ever been that person?
No.
This is why I want video so you guys can see his face. No, okay.
No,
never. I've been clingy before.
I know.
I was clingy in we were in a full-on relationship.
I think I'm probably more clingy now. But not really. But I've had clingy complex where they gotta be up under you.
That is the most uncomfortable thing not the most, but it's one of the most uncomfortable things in life. I can't... like,
I do it now to annoy D, but I remember it's just like, all right, come on, let's cuddle. Come on, like, let's get this over with. Like, so you can fall asleep or do whatever, or I can... like, do, like, when you squeeze them and roll them. Yeah. Or like, I'll set up a pillow on the other side and roll them so they think they still holding on to something.
Right. No. See, I don't have that in me. I can't. I don't know what it is that if I don't want to, I don't want to. Yeah. So it like the whole...
we got to do it. Well, I mean, not so much when it's forced. When there's that forced clingy, when you know the other person really don't want to do it, and you're only doing it to satisfy them. Like, we got to do everything together. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it's just like,
and see, leave me alone. It's like sometimes, I've dated, I won't say long distance, but distance. And it's like, oh, give me a kiss through the phone. Like, it's always.
Oh, yeah, I do that.
You do? That is.
On FaceTime, I'll blow a kiss. Well, I like my man. I'll do it.
No, that is annoying.
And I told you need to bend on that one.
I don't
because
like
it costs
that.
You nothing.
It doesn't, but
it costs you nothing.
I just feel like
if you like the person enough, you'll do it.
I won't admit that because I feel like there are people that I like or that I have liked, and I've just been like, dude. Perfect example. I think I told you the one that was like, I was eating something, and he was like, "Give me some." Oh. I said, "How?" So he was like, put it up to the phone.
Yeah, I would have just been like, here.
That is so corny to me. And it's
sometimes you got to do some corny things.
I don't see, and that's the problem. I don't want to. What? I do not. That is
if you can't be corny with the one you love, who you gonna be corny with?
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe because we weren't together, we were dating, but that is just one of those things, and it's happened a lot. Like, I think since the pandemic, because you don't get to have that interaction. But that is so...
But I feel like if they were in your face, you wouldn't give them no food anyway.
I would. Oh. Don't do that.
Oh, really?
Don't do that. I would. Not off of their own plate. I mean, off of their own spoon or whatever. But yeah, I'm okay in person. But to me, that just doesn't... I'm a realist. Like, if you're like, oh, like, give me a bite of your food. What?
I mean, I personally would not ask. I've known people who have asked, but it costs you not to blow a kiss through the phone.
Give you a kiss.
Like, man, you don't do that.
No.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's why I'm single, because that is some corny shit.
But it's corny stuff that you do. Like, what? So what do you want?
I don't want to do that. Like, can we just have a normal situation?
That is what's going on, babe? It's normal for some people.
You. All right, cool. I'll see you later, or I'll talk to you later, or whatever.
Like when D was on the road, like if we talked at night, it would be, as we were saying,
he's a whole artist.
As we were saying goodbye, I'd be like, okay, give me a kiss, and you're like, mwah, mwah, and like good night. Because if he was here, I would give him a kiss before going to bed.
Yeah, but you're not kissing
him.
So
do you send kissy face emojis?
Yes. Well, no, I don't. So when no, not kissy face, no. I send when I'm thinking about someone, I send this, it's different with different people. So I am one of those people, I don't want to do the same shit with different people. Like if me and you were talking, I might send you, I love the upside down smiley face.
I love that one too.
Oh, I'm just but that would be specific to you. Like I wouldn't send it to anybody else. Mm-hmm. So when we expire, okay, somebody else gets another one. I don't. But yeah, I do stuff like that.
So if a person you're talking to, if they send you a kissy face emoji, do you send it back?
I send the blushing one. Red cheeks.
You're so irritating.
Because it's cute.
So irritating. So you won't even send a kissing emoji. That's how bad it is.
I send the hug one.
I like the hug one.
I don't really send the kissy face. No, I don't.
So you never took a picture of you making a kissy face and send it to a person?
No. So another thing about me is I'm learning. I don't like sending a bunch of pictures because when it's done, I'm like, you got this whole archive. No, thank you. I'd rather not. No, thanks. I don't even want... Yeah, no. Kissy face? That is so corny to me. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I have no words. I don't... You gotta be lovey, you're in person. You gotta be lovey-dovey, but everything can't be in person. You gotta be lovey-dovey,
I think that I do that
with a kissing face emoji, a kissing picture. They just want to see you.
I do. I send the memoji with the kiss and the wink, I think it is.
Okay.
I send that sometimes.
But you will never take a selfie of you blowing a kiss. Okay, friend.
That's weird.
Right. We're going to circle back around to this one.
No, we gotta circle back around to this only child situation.
Okay. Well, let's see. Kissing pictures. Let's write this down.
Only child syndrome.
Write down what you want to write down.
I am.
Kissing picture.
Emojis. What kissing picture emoji conversation is going to be.
Oh, and I need to find out about the screenshot situation. So we'll come back
to
that. Remember, you said, I asked you, when the guy said, no, you goes to me, I said, did you send a screenshot?
Oh, yeah. That's a story.
Okay, so we'll come back.
Well, it's still February.
Someone ever sent you a picture, you screenshot it because you were supposed to send it out to your friends, but you ended up sending it back to the person? You ever did that before?
I did something like that recently.
I know I did it before.
But it was it wasn't a picture, it was...
Conversation?
It was conversation.
I did that, yeah.
He was like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know.
Block, delete all that shit.
They need that. They need that. They need something that you can delete it within a certain amount of time. Because sometimes you...
It depends on what app you're on.
What do you mean?
Some apps you can unsend your messages.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
I feel like IG you can, but I feel like you can delete it on your side, but it doesn't delete it from being delivered.
It does. They won't be able to see it.
I don't send too many messages on like Facebook.
You're right. True.
So, yeah, the screenshot, that was the story.
Okay, cool. We're gonna circle back to all of this
at some point. Happy Black History Month to everyone.
Absolutely.
Everybody, because everybody should be gaining some knowledge and learning. But again, Black History isn't just a month. Mm-hmm. So
it's Black History 365.
And it's happening every single day. There's something going on that we're doing that is amazing. So recognize, support, continue to listen to us because we always gonna have something to say.
Always.
We want to shout out. So Los's Lounge is another podcast that we listen to, and we just want to shout him out because he is hilarious. Who else? It was Davon and Trayvon. Mm-hmm. The opinions is all I have. I hope I said that right.
Yeah. All I have is opinions.
All I have is opinions. My apologies. They are hilarious. They're to me, they're the interviewing podcast. Like they hit you with them questions and you just be like, what? Like
they're toss up between Wendy Williams and Oprah in one. You don't know where it goes because they be getting real serious and then they shade each other. It's like, bitch, wait, what
happened?
Rewind.
But it's all love, so definitely check them out as well. And again, stay tuned in with us because we got some more.
We do have more shit coming.
Coming, and yeah,
I'm excited for the new shit.
I mean, I'm excited.
Don't do that.
No. I'm just thinking. There's just so much. Like I feel like the topics that we have, it's like the arsenal is full. Well, I won't say it's full, but it's vast.
And FYI, we not on season 2. Season 1 still hasn't ended yet.
Yeah, season 2 is coming though, and then when we got some special guests coming through, some special guests and quote unquote, well not quote unquote / friends of the show that we're bringing on. So yeah, just stay tuned.
Or maybe we won't do seasons. Maybe we'll just keep dropping episodes.
That means that he hasn't made up his mind what we're going to do. So he'll let you know what we're going to do when he decides. Not only child syndrome. It's making sense now. I will say, Ramont, let's do boop, boop, boop. And he'd be like, no.
Nope.
And then he'll go home, I guess, and process and be like, okay.
Because Reese wants to do things as soon as he says it. Reese is like, Ramont, we need music. Basically, I should have had music already ready for that particular episode. Ramont, I want to do video. Basically, I need to come over with a camera and ring lights and be ready and know everything and set it up and boom, we got video. Like that's why I tell Reese no, because Reese doesn't think about it. Reese just has an idea and then I process it. You know, like Reese is like I'm the computer and Reese like inputs what he wants and then I have to process it and print it out.
So what it is it's the first child syndrome.
But it works.
That everything is supposed to be my way when I want it, and it's the only child syndrome is I'm going to do it when I feel like doing it. It works though, because it happens when it's supposed to.
It does.
So
and it happens right.
It does. That is one thing. I think Ramont, I can thank you because you are very meticulous. Because Ramont will be like, no, we're not doing this. That's not. Nope, not yet. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Look, it sounds good to me, but then I'd be like, yeah, you're right. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
We thank you for listening, and we will talk to you in another 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks? It is 2 weeks.
Yeah, in March. It'll be March.
Next thing you know, Reese gonna want to drop an episode every week.
That has been asked
by who?
Larry. I'm calling names out. Larry called me.
Like he ain't gonna yell at me,
right? So that's another thing. I know we're going over, but
who keeping track of
Ramont?
They just gotta keep listening.
So. Because the stories that just keep coming. So Larry, one day I call Larry and we're just talking, chopping it up. And Larry will always give me his honest feedback about the show. And, he'll give me some pointers and everything because he does a web series. And so he has that technical background and things like that. Really good conversations. And he was like, but I need to know, why y'all only drop every 2 weeks? Why can't it be every week? I said, because you got to talk to Ramont. He was like, but I'm talking to you. I said, oh, okay. So I'll have to try to make that happen. I said, wait on it. We'll see what happens. But I don't know.
Every week is a lot.
Because we do have lives outside of this.
I don't...
Not to say that we
don't... Well, I don't want to say that, but I just... Like, because I know podcasts that do every week. When that's how they started off. They were doing every week and everything like that. But for us, it just feels like a lot to do every week. For me, it's just...
It's because, and this is how I look at it, because we initially, like we told you guys before, we were doing pre-records. We were doing topics, and then we would do them in one sitting and then drop them throughout every other week throughout that month. Excuse me. What we learned was that for me, listening back, it just wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It just didn't feel good, I guess, dropping it like that. Like the topics, sometimes, and very few times, it would be like,
I didn't like that.
Didn't like that, or it's not really relevant, or whatever.
I mean, but just to think about, like, we're recording now. We'll do everything that we need to do for the show. And then next Saturday, I'm back here and recording again.
It would essentially be every weekend.
I'm exhausted already.
Right, thinking about it. It's a lot. But I think that, again, as we grow, it may do that. It may not. And then, you know what? We haven't done a bonus in a while. So
we haven't done a bonus
in a while. Could be coming through. It just depends. And again, I do want to say this as well. There have been a few people. I want to shout out my girl, Brittany. She, we worked together, and she came in one day, and we were I don't know how we got on the topic of the show, and she was like, yeah, I was listening, da 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 da. I was telling her about it, and she was like, oh no, I was listening. I was like, oh, okay, you listened, cool. She's like, y'all need to do a conversation about this, and I was like, oh, that is really good. So I appreciate all that to say. I appreciate when individuals are giving us topics that they want to hear about. They want to hear our perspective,
and I think that's also a fear itself. If we do every week, we would run out of topics. Not necessarily, but it just seemed like, well, shit, what are we going to talk about now?
Right. True. Again, maybe in due time, but right now, again, it works.
Yeah.
So, Larry, just wait on it. Brittany, thank you for your topics. And everyone else that gives us ideas, we appreciate it. You guys can continue to send them to us through our email and or our IG and or personal. Because I did bump into a friend of Ramont's who had a lot to say about the podcast. The one at Omari's party. He was very aggressive.
Who?
The one that told me basically when I was doing my pop-up, he was like, I don't want to hear about this podcast. I said, oh, because I hear about it enough from Ramont. I said, oh.
He brings it up. I don't talk to him about it. He brings it up. Oh, I listened to this episode at this mark and this, that, and the third. People love to try us, and
they were trying to put us against each other.
And it's good,
we
right?
Are a team.
A team. And the thing is, Reese is a lot nicer than me when you talk about the podcast. I'll tell y'all now. Reese is a whole.
People like Ramont did roll up on him like, so what you say to my friend? I said, oh. So I had to back him up. Okay, well, what you said was,
my friend said, he was like, you got one. I said, and that's why I'm coming to you now. What did you say about our podcast?
Yeah,
because he said this. So either clean it up or admit to what you said. What's up?
What is it? And he cleaned it up.
Don't talk about our podcast because I roll up. As soon as somebody be like, yeah, so I got in the pit. What you gotta say? What's wrong? I think
Nothing's
y'all should.
Wrong.
Think
everybody
what?
has a suggestion, which is again, it's appreciated, but I mean, sometimes you have to be in the space to Reese. Understand. Yeah,
with all your problems, comments, concerns, ideas.
And I go to Ramont, and I always, who said it? Don't worry about that.
That is my first.
That is always the first question. Who said it?
And if y'all send him a message with your critiques in it, he will cut out your name.
I will, because I want to keep it neutral. Ramont gets the feedback. I think all of his feedback is pretty good. It's like, oh, this is great. Da da da. I'll be like, okay.
Not all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't get those, and I don't get bad ones. So I'm not saying that at all. But people do have their suggestions, and I'd be like, okay, I'll take it. And sometimes I send it to Ramont with just look at this, not let's do this. And he'd be like, I'd be like, friend, I just wanted you to see it. So now I'd be like, let me just keep this to myself because I know he ain't going for it. Or maybe this isn't the right time to bring it up. All right, y'all, we out of your ears. Enjoy your day. Hope you guys had an amazing Valentine's Day. Hope you guys are having an amazing rest of your February. Again, Black History Month, but Black History is 365. So don't forget.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, y'all. Take care. Bye. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Reese. I just wanted to thank you guys for listening to another episode of ALilRandR. Please go out to IG and follow us at ALilRandRPodcast. That is ALilRandRPodcast. And if you have any questions, thoughts, suggestions, or opinions about any of our episodes, please reach out to us at RamontandReese@gmail.com. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.